All right, well, welcome to another episode of Key Conversations. I'm Katy Norman.
I'm CJ Norman.
And obviously together we are Norman Homes, a husband and wife real estate team. And this podcast is all about bringing you like real stories, simple frameworks, honest advice, the kind of advice that we'd give our own friends and family. And not even we would give, we do give our own friends and family. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, downsize, or just looking to make the most of the house that you're living in, we're here to help. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And today's episode, because it's so prominent in everyone's lives, even if they're not looking to buy or sell a home, I thought we'd take some time to talk about Zillow. Kind of like everything umbrella of Zillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously from your perspective, likely if you're not a realtor, there's a lot of like, you look on Zillow, you start, window shopping for houses online essentially. And that's just what it seems like. But how does it actually work? What happens like behind the scenes? And tell me more about Zillow. So we're going to get into some of the nitty-gritty of that today.
Yeah. So one thing to be said about us and how we work with Zillow, and not every agent does, but we are local Zillow partners, which means that we've been vetted. We're one of the top agents on Zillow for certain areas that we service. And a lot of times it's, in our own neck of the woods. But yeah, a lot of people also don't know how Zillow works. And we meet a lot of new clients from Zillow. And almost every single time you have to kind of like explain to them how we got connected. So I think it'd be worth talking about what that looks like, from their side and what it looks like from our side too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when I explain to someone how Zillow works, they're like, whoa, I had no idea. So it seemed like this was information worth sharing. So
like, picture this. You're at your computer, it's 11:30 at night on a Thursday, and you're looking at $50 million homes. No, I'm just kidding. But you are looking at homes and window shopping.
I did have someone.
All the time.
Maybe it wasn't a $50 million home, but I had like a teenager try to reach out to schedule a showing on a $12 million home once.
Really?
Yeah.
You just wanted to go hang out with friends?
We did not go see the $12 million
Once
home.
you said proof of funds are needed for that showing, they were like, ghosted.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But you're sitting at your computer, and maybe you are starting the process. You don't have an agent. Maybe you do. I don't know yet. And you see a house, and you're like, okay, I want to go see that house. And then there's going to be this fancy, shiny button that says schedule a tour or contact agent. So what happens, and when you press schedule a tour, you can pick a time to go see that house, like right on the app.
Yeah, actually, I'm curious. I'm like, while you're saying this, I'm going to pull it up because I just want to see like what we see. We're behind the scenes.
Right.
Like, we're not ever reaching out.
So I'm never like trying to find a different agent. But so I think there's two. There's schedule this tour to us, which is called a real-time tour. And somebody can pick their desired time slot, and then boom, we get sent a notification like, hey, a new client would like to go see this house at this time. We verify it, and then we show up. Alternatively, there is a button that says contact agent, which a lot of people might be thinking, oh yeah, I can talk to the listing agent. That's not how Zillow works. Zillow is a money-making machine. So they're not going to connect you with the listing agent. They're going to connect you with agents like us who are partners who ultimately do have to pay them for those connections.
Right.
How's it going pulling it up? Anything?
I'm strong. Of course, like when I tried to...
No, it's okay.
Okay, here's a house. I just needed to switch some of the filters to make sure that I was seeing houses that are actively for sale. So if you're looking at a house, it is the big blue button right on the bottom. Yeah, right on the bottom.
Exactly.
Request a tour, and you can actually hit request a tour. It says as early as 2:30 today.
Right.
Which is in like
2 hours.
2.5 hours, I guess 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it seems super convenient.
So anyways, I think a lot of people watching this probably know about that button.
Oh, there's also a contact button.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So there's a contact button and a request a tour button.
Yep. So we'll get connected with you if you click on one or the other button. One of them is like a live call. So if you click on contact, most people think they're going to be talking to the listing agent who listed that home, which we've talked about in previous episodes, not a great idea.
Yep.
Right? They have their interests of their sellers in mind way before yours. But they definitely would sell you a house.
And something interesting is I've kind of noticed that there's a demographic of buyers that think that they're going to be able to negotiate a better deal if they go directly to the seller, and so they want to go directly to the seller. And again, still not a great idea, still not doing the best service, because as a realtor, if I'm representing a seller and you are not a realtor and you come to me and say, hey, I'm really interested in this house, like, that's great for me because maybe I can negotiate a little extra commission in the deal or something.
You get like double commission.
Potentially. But it doesn't mean that, like, it actually ends up being more challenging to work with somebody that doesn't understand real estate, because I'm going to have to write up a contract for you. I'm going to have to do double the work. So I should get double the pay, but you're more so working with like a mediator in that sense instead of like somebody that's advocating for you fully. Because how can I advocate for the seller and the buyer fully at the same time?
Well, that's why there's so many like dual agency disclosures, and like people need to be made aware on paper and sign off, like they understand what's happening here. Now,
if I'm working with another realtor on the other side of the transaction, that realtor probably knows, like, hey, in the situation where the roof isn't great or something, here's a common scenario of how we handle that. Whereas if I'm just working with a buyer that's unrepresented, essentially, then they might think that something's fair, but in practice, it's just not really a reality, if that makes sense. So real representation with an agent is going to help you understand, like, okay, here's the reality of your scenario. Here's the best ways to handle it, because we've done it over and over and over again. And if you don't do this, you might have an idea of what you want, but in practice, it's not actually.
Yeah. I mean, liability goes up and there's, other risks. Some agents don't like doing it. For me, please do come to me with, interest in my listing. I can do it and be very transparent.
But obviously for you, like the viewer and the client, like, full representation is awesome.
Right. So best practice is you don't work with the listing agent as your representation for a deal. However, if you did want to contact the listing agent in the true spirit of this podcast being no fluff, go to homes.com. They will connect you directly to the listing agent. But Zillow.
Yeah.
Zillow.
One last thing that I want to go off on a side tangent. If CJ is the listing agent and you want representation, technically it's still dual agency if I represent you, but I will represent you to the fullest effect.
We've
separately.
Done that before too. And
absolutely.
I was like, Katy, and I was a listing agent. I was like, Katy, thanks for the offer. We're going with another one. Remember that?
I will advocate for you against him
for sure.
in whatever he's saying.
Yeah.
And we've got some grit in us, so.
Yeah, no, for sure. But anyway, so you're on Zillow, you click the button, you click contact agent, you're going to be connected to a local buyer's agent, right? Which we are in that capacity on Zillow as partners. Or you click on request a tour, and then you also get connected to a local buyer's agent, which also could be us. Now, what people don't know is that because maybe green agents will just show up to the listing, and that's where a lot of the no-shows happen, because people don't even understand, like, oh, this is actually happening, like, right? But we call them.
Yep.
And we, make sure that, got all the information right, that they actually do want to see the home, but also.
Well, also in I feel like in today's day and age, and I joke, I kind of joke, but this really isn't a joke when I tell people this on the phone. I call them and I say, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm talking to a real person before I go meet you at a house.
It's a very real thing.
Kind of creepy if you really think you're just gonna go meet some random stranger you don't know at a house. Like, I want to know who, like, I want to at least have a little bit of rapport with this person that I'm just gonna show up and meet.
Totally. Yeah, right.
Because otherwise, I mean, like, safety and all those kind of things. But so I think that's.
So we call them to make sure they're a real person, to make sure, they are wanting to go see that home at that time. And then also, to save everyone some hassle, we asked the question, do you have an agent you're working with already? Or have you identified a real estate agent that you would use when it does come time to write an offer on a home.
Yep.
Now that question.
And people are like, sometimes people are a little bit taken aback when we go through like some of these questions when we contact them through Zillow or get connected with them through Zillow. But the reason being is, like, we are not supposed to show, like, if you are actively working with and you have a representation agreement with another realtor, we are not supposed to show you a house.
No, that's a big no-no. We can get in trouble and fined money.
Yep. And obviously people don't realize that. And not to mention, people think, and you might have touched on this, but like people think like, oh, well, you just work for Zillow. Like, you get paid by Zillow. It's like, nope.
We actually pay Zillow to talk to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And a pretty substantial amount, too. It's not like in every business, to acquire business, there is an acquisition cost to acquiring business. Mm-hmm. And real estate is no different in that sense within these like lead generation sort of things. Now, outside of lead generating, obviously we get business in plenty of other ways that don't always cost us money. We do a lot of referral business. Obviously, we hope we get, we hope you loved working with us, and we hope you tell your friends and family about us, but
we just work
Zillow
a lot. We have
right.
the capacity to take on a lot of business.
Yep.
Right? So
we've never been tapped, so we use Zillow as essentially a supplemental business.
You're saying when we're tapped?
I said we've never been tapped.
There are some times, like when it's in the heat of spring market in the summer, it's like, okay, I've got plenty of people I'm working with. If I took any more, then I don't get to go exercise, or I don't get to go, out to dinner at all, right? So it's like, I'll just pause those, Zillow connections and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, we're not Zillow employees. And a lot of people just have this conception because Zillow doesn't have anything to gain by telling you, hey, these are actual agents. They just don't say anything. They're just like, you want to go see a home? Cool, we're going to make it really easy.
Right.
So it's on us, the agent, to kind of explain what's happening in that situation and make sure that we're not stepping on toes of their brother-in-law who is, a brand new agent that they promised that they would use to go buy a home.
Right. And a lot of people, when we vet them and we ask these questions, they're like, oh yeah, we do have a realtor that we're going to work with, or we already have an agreement, or we've already been working with somebody. We aren't 100% sure that we're going to work with them, but we'd feel bad if we didn't, like all those kind of things.
That's totally fine.
Right. Yeah. But you should continue to go to that person for your real estate needs, not click on the Zillow buttons.
And then a lot of times people are like, totally good idea. I had no idea how this worked. I just saw it said, go see the house.
And in full transparency, I'll tell you a story about myself. Before I was a realtor, we mentioned, in a previous episode, the Get to Know Us one, that we were both investors. Since I did not have my real estate license, I needed to go see a house. And so I would click on those buttons and schedule showings to go see places with no intention to use that agent, but I had no idea. And now looking back, it's like, oh my gosh, because realtors are also like, most of us own our own businesses. We're essentially 1099. We're contractors. So we only get paid if a house closes. Mm-hmm. If you don't buy or sell a house with us, we do not get paid for all the other things that we do. Mm-hmm. So showing homes, helping negotiate inspections, recommending all the people that we do. We don't get paid for any of that stuff. Right. So anyways, that's a high level, what happens in some of the misconceptions.
It's just good to lay it out there because it's just defined at all.
And when we tell her, like I say on our intro, this is advice and things that we give our own friends and family. These are conversations that we do have with these are conversations we have and do have with our friends and family. Yeah. Of oh my gosh, did you know? Yeah. Because I think it's good to know.
Honestly, I'm sure people are like, okay, you said you have to pay Zillow? How much? Just so you know, it's about half. Crazy, right? Yeah, and that's before any other, taxes, team splits, whatever it is. Half, right to Zillow, right away.
Right.
Just because I would want to know that too.
Yeah, so this money that you think that you're paying your realtor in commission, half of it is going to...
Before any other sort of stuff too.
Right, they're not getting nearly as much as you think they are. It may seem like, oh my gosh, my realtor's getting paid so much. It's like, no. Yeah. Not how it works.
Unrelated, we're also wanting to talk about that being the last case resort. Kind of unrelated, but as a best practice, how would somebody go about connecting with an agent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Sure. So last place, and I'll get to...
I guess I'm not 100% sure where you're going with that, so...
Yeah, just when you're starting to buy a home or sell a home. By the way, we forgot to touch on selling. It's just less common on Zillow. But yeah, we do also get those connections for people selling their home. But, when somebody is wanting to, let's just go with the buy example, buy or sell. Buy a home and they go to Zillow and then they click that. Like, is that your first thing that you should be doing to connect with an agent? Let's say you watch this and okay, so I would be connecting with CJ or Katy or a random agent.
I guess we should clarify. You're not getting connected with us just off the bat.
No,
you're getting routed to a random realtor.
Right, and sometimes we're those random realtors.
Sometimes, yeah.
There's a lot of people that click that button. There's a lot of agents that are in this program too.
Right, so the chances that you get connected to us by randomly clicking that button is very low.
But if you do, that'd be kind of cool. But,
right.
let's avoid that because there are some steps to take to finding a good fit agent for you before you resort to clicking that shiny blue button.
Yes, so one of them is obviously you can work with us and we want to work with you.
Yeah.
If you're not in our area or in Minnesota at all.
Yeah, out of state.
You can still reach out to us. We have connections all over the country and we're happy to help you find a real estate connection there. If for some reason you don't, when I say this, we can help you find a connection there, even if we don't know someone there, we can help you find somebody there. Because realtors, when they talk to other realtors, can quickly pick up whether or not the realtor knows what they're talking about and is a really good agent, or if they're really new and maybe not as experienced and maybe not as great of a fit for what it is that you're looking to accomplish. So we can help essentially vet those people out by making a couple phone calls and
we do our research, then we actually do interview people, and then based on our client's need or their style or personality, we can also factor that in to help them find a good fit.
Right.
Somebody who's experienced, somebody who works in the area they're looking, personality matches, and it's free service to you as a client, and I don't know why you wouldn't take that up, but a lot of people also don't even know that we do that.
Yep.
So
wherever you are, we're happy to help. If for some reason you don't reach out to us or you happen to be talking to your friends or family and they're like, wow, my realtor was great, I absolutely loved working with them. I guess first of all, you want to make sure that they actually cover the area and the type of home that you're looking for and things like that. You want, some people are really good at condo sales. Some people are really good at lakefront. Some are really good at investment properties. So you just want to make sure whatever it is that you're looking for, just because your friend or family told you they're awesome, maybe, just do a double check to make sure that they actually fit what you're looking for. And
have discernment about it too. Don't just be like, oh, well, my dad used this agent for every investment property or every house they ever bought. It's like, oh, but he's so old school, he will never do anything electronically, or he wants to drive you to the houses. It's like, yeah, I'm a millennial, I don't want to do that, right? Yeah. So it's have some discernment, make what?
It's real estate has changed.
Totally, yeah, have discernment, if even if it is a friend or family connection, make sure it's a good fit for you.
Yep, absolutely. Because you spend a lot of time with your realtor, typically, and you want to make sure that not only do you know and trust them, because those are really important things, but you like them.
Yeah.
So obviously if you know them or if somebody else knows them and can vouch for them, that helps build that trust factor a little bit quicker. But if for some reason neither of those work, you can click on the button on Zillow.
Yeah, right. If you don't want to work with us, if you have no one who knows an agent that would fit good for you, then as your last case resort, click the button. We'll work with you just the same.
Yeah. And even if you're just, some people are like, well, I'm not really ready to buy a house yet, but I kind of want to look and I kind of want to see this house. You should be talking to a realtor at that point.
And if you're afraid that your agent's going to be too on you or too pressuring because you're not ready to start the search, then maybe that's your sign.
Yeah,
right?
they're not the right agent.
I wouldn't want to work with an agent that's just like, hey, we saw the house the other day. Are you ready? It's like, no, I actually told you I'm not ready to start for 2 more months. I just wanted to go see that particular house.
Right. And maybe it was, like with that scenario of like, want to see this particular house. It's like, well, one, we can go see a particular house. That's absolutely fine. But 2, is this like, we love this house so much, it might actually be the one, and we just need to vet it to make sure it's not. But if it's not, then we need a little bit more time. Or are we just like, we just like to look at houses, and it's like, there are other opportunities for things like that too. Totally. But moral of the story, you should obviously be talking to a realtor sooner rather than later.
So often, like the very rare few people that connect with me on Zillow, they're like, no, yeah, I actually do understand how this works. I'm like, oh, interesting. Cool. So why aren't you, talking to your agent or whatever I say, very respectfully. And they're like, well, I just don't want to tap them yet because I don't want them thinking that we're starting our search. It's like, then maybe you shouldn't work with them. If you can't say that to that, you can say it to me, a stranger, right, agent, but you can't say it to them and have them respect that boundary, then maybe that is a sign, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important to work with somebody that hears you and understands you and respects you.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to work with a used cars. What do you call it?
A used home salesman.
A used home salesman.
Yeah. Right?
That was funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't want to work with them.
So beyond just like how Zillow works, something I think that's important that we touch on, because it's like, I feel like some of this kind of feels like we're ragging on Zillow, but it's a really great tool in a lot of ways, and that's not at all what we're trying to do. We're just trying to help you understand what it does, but there's super cool new features too. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, we do love Zillow, and like whether we do love it or not, like we have to work with it. Like it's just the way of the future, and the recent past too.
Right. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're okay.
My ADD brain and the thoughts that go through it, I'm just like rushing, but the interface of Zillow is just so user-friendly, and so
much better than any MLS.
Yeah, so we set people up on a search on the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. And so for those of you that don't know what the MLS is, it's where all the realtors put all the data of all of their listings, or so all the houses we're selling.
The first source of where a listing is created.
Right. And so Zillow is pulling data. Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, all those, Redfin, wherever. It's all pulling from the MLS, your local MLS. And they're all tied into there. So the data can lag a little bit, so it can get updated a little bit more slowly. So you want to see what's in the MLS, but the user interface of Zillow is so much better.
Yeah, the MLS, they don't update stuff, I feel like they update it like once every 10 years. And it's like it's like, you guys are getting a lot of money. Like, come on.
I mean, we're getting notifications.
I'm getting a little spicy right now.
They're making updates like when we log into the MLS, it'll say like, here's an update, here's another update, here's another update. I'm like,
it's like,
half the time I don't even look at the updates. I don't even know what anyways.
But so the CEO of Zillow, I forgot the actual term, but it was to the tune of his vision is to make Zillow the super app for everything homes or something like that. I remember hearing super app. They don't want you to leave their app, which is what every company wants, right? Mm-hmm. They want to keep you on their stuff, their technology, monetize, which is
on that note, go to our website and stick around there for a while and check it out. And
right. Yeah. Don't leave.
You're right.
Talk to us through there. But I lost my train of thought. That's okay. So we're going into stuff that
Zillow wants to keep everyone in the app. And
how they're doing that is
these new features.
A few new rollouts that are happening in 2026.
Yeah. So one of those is Zillow Pro. So you can actually choose the agent that you want to work with, which is great. So if that agent is us, we would love for you to connect with us on Zillow.
Yeah, it's super easy. You just go to our Zillow profile, which we should probably have linked in the show notes here. And then you just scroll down to a different, not as shiny blue button. It says like add as your agent. And then boom, we're linked. And then, what about, so it's called Zillow Pro, but what about it is nice, to have?
Yeah, so it's going to prevent that auto assignment, so you're not getting randomly assigned to an agent. And then you can also share properties, communicate throughout the app, things like that. One of the things from our perspective as an agent for you is I can see, you've been looking on Zillow long before I ever set you up on a home search on the MLS, and I can see what homes you're looking at, what homes you're favoriting. Yeah. And that information is super helpful for me to be able to help you more. And because I can see like trends. So for example, I've got a client that all of the homes, I've noticed a theme in all of the homes that they favorite have a nice open concept kitchen with a big island. And we're looking in Minneapolis, which isn't as common to find those.
Denser, area.
Right. So some more closed kitchens or galley kitchens or things like that are more common. So I'm noticing that trend even before we ever walk through a house, which is great.
Interesting. Yeah.
And that's super, super helpful information for me, because then I'm never going to recommend like, hey, I saw this house and it seems to check what you told me you want, but
it doesn't have an island.
Yeah. Things like that. Like I can see where you're where the client is gravitating, and that's information that's helpful for me.
Yeah. And then also there's going to be like, I would imagine it's brand new. So, like when you go to those websites and it's like, okay, how can I help? And it's like a little like the new version of the paperclip thing from Microsoft Word that's like, how can I help? In the little bottom corner, and you can chat. When those things first rolled out, you're talking to a person, but now it's all AI. So there's going to be both to my knowledge on Zillow, and there is an AI one, which we'll get to. But there's going to be us. It's going to be like message CJ, message Katy. And I mean, it's super easy. It's like informal. If you're just like, hey, like how's the market in this neighborhood or, this area, we can just have like instant messaging exchange there without it being like this. Dear CJ, hope all is well. It's just super easy.
First of all, you never need to do that in general.
Yeah,
you can just send us a text message like,
right.
Like thoughts? Yeah. Question mark?
Yeah, right. But instead of having a link and share, it's just like ask, and then I think you'll be able to just like on the listing you're currently looking at on your app, you'll be able to message on that.
That'd be cool.
Or if you just want like a home value, or like, hey, this estimate looks off. You mind double checking for me on my own home? It's like totally
I guess
doable.
The very specifics of how it's going to work, we're not sure, but we do know that you will connect with us.
Yeah, right.
If you choose us as your agent, which is the really cool thing. I don't think that it stays forever. It's not like an indefinite thing.
I mean, no, I think that I just had someone add me and it said till 2029. I mean, obviously if they're like, oh, I can't work with Katy anymore, I'm sure you could just press remove.
Right.
But you would never do that because it's Katy.
Right.
Right. But also I think it does stay connected for a while.
I do always tell people though, like, we are all about open, honest communication. So if for some reason you were like, I can't work with Katy anymore, first of all, that would never happen. Second off,
that would never happen.
Well,
yeah.
And then third is that if there is an issue, as soon as you notice it come up, I hope you tell me about it, because I want the chance to make it right in some way, shape, or form for you, because that's how I want to be treated. Yeah. And I can't fix something that I don't know is wrong. So please, please, please always just chat with us. We hope we can figure out solutions to any of
Just transparency on both sides is ideal.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Always. Another new feature is Zillow Showcase. I mean, it's not brand new.
It's new to most people.
Yeah.
Most people who have sold a home in recent years have not dealt with this yet.
And it's not super, super widely used. And it's not used all the time.
Still in its infancy, really.
But what is Zillow Showcase?
Zillow Showcase, the best way to put it is to have your listing on Zillow stand out among its counterparts, right? Think of if you ever, like, I don't know, maybe if you click on like food near me on Google, or if you're looking for a handyman or something.
You see those sponsored.
There could be someone who's been in business for 50 years, but they're going to be like down here because right front and center screaming at you is the sponsored ones, right?
Yep.
Zillow Showcase. I mean, yes, they have a certain way of doing things with the photography. Like you have to use their photographers and stuff so that they have measurements and everything done. I think they have like a
specific kind of camera.
Yeah, they have like maybe more of like a Matterport or 3D rendering of your house, but you'll stand out and you'll be a bigger and more robust listing on Zillow as opposed to just like the thumbnails of everybody else's homes.
I really like how you said it was kind of like a paid ad. The visuals are enhanced. They do have an interactive floor plan. It's a little bit more immersive. So You can walk through, virtually floor plans because they've done a 3D.
Kind of like Google Earth, right? Where you can or Streets, whatever they call it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they'll have like this cool looking slideshow of all the images, and it's pretty cool. It does cost. It's
a paid ad. It's a glorified paid ad.
Right. So it costs money. It's an above and beyond feature that if we want to be on Zillow Showcase and this is for when you sell your house. So this is for sellers, that it is an above and beyond cost, can be beneficial.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, more eyes is never bad with
that's everything.
Absolutely. The last thing I guess there's two more things that are
AI. Like AI is so hot right now, right? So Agentic. Yeah. Agentic AI or something like that.
Do you know if it's actually like, I feel like I saw that it was ChatGPT. Is it actually ChatGPT?
No.
Is it just AI? Like
I was saying
ChatGPT like.
Think ChatGPT.
Okay.
Because ChatGPT is AI. It's kind of like Kleenex instead of tissue paper, right? It's just like ChatGPT was like the OG in this, and they kind of like claimed Q-tip or whatever,
Yeah.
So I was like, think ChatGPT, but it's going to be Zillow's own AI.
Okay.
Not to be confused with, Zillow does have a partnership with ChatGPT. So Zillow listings show up if you ask ChatGPT, like, hey, show me homes in my neighborhood. They'll actually like send you like listings in ChatGPT. Yeah. So they're going to have their own version of AI. I'm pretty sure it's not ChatGPT.
So this is like, if you've been searching online or if you've been online in other places and like pulled up the little chat box and asked it questions, sometimes it will give you like automatic responses based on your questions. And a lot of the times those are AI generated responses. So I would assume like maybe something like that kind of?
Yeah, I would imagine. And it kind of bleeds into the other new feature. But like if you're like buying, like I have a client who's buying land right now and, wants to know, is it in a floodplain? It's like, you could ask the AI that, right?
Yeah, which actually goes into our other point, kind of last feature that's kind of come up.
The theme here is you never leave Zillow's app, right? And here's another one, right?
Location insights. So weather risks, amenities, things like that. So am I in a floodplain? If we're in California, am I susceptible to wildfires? I mean, I know that California is not the only place that gets these. Canada gets them, obviously.
Or us. We have air quality issues when there's wildfires north of us, right?
Air quality concerns, absolutely in here. My grandma has COPD, so if you are someone that, has breathing issues,
sensitivities,
allergy,
anything really,
all those kind of things, you might want to know that kind of stuff.
That'll be all like in the listings is what they're saying. Same with like, all right, I want a home that is walkable to Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
It's going to be able to tell you that too.
So amenities, grocery stores, things like that are nearby, all that kind of stuff.
Doctors,
Yeah. So
all that stuff.
You'll be able to find all of this within Zillow, which, I mean, I know why people use it. I use it. I look at things when I'm, if I'm out of Minnesota and we're, traveling or something, I just want to see what something looks like. I'll pull up Zillow for sure. So I get it. Mm-hmm. I get why people use it, and there's nothing wrong with using it. I think it's a great tool, and we just want you to know how to better use it, obviously.
Yeah.
So I guess one thing that I want to mention is that this is not Zillow specific. These are Zillow specific things, but
Zillow leads.
Yeah.
Other companies follow.
Yes.
Were you just going to say that too?
No, I thought you were just saying Zillow leads and like leads that you get from Zillow.
Oh yeah, like new clients.
You're saying Zillow is the
they like
is the trendsetter.
Pave the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
I was like, what about Zillow leads?
Double entendre.
Oh my gosh. Okay, one of those days apparently, or moments. My brain is all over the place, but. So Realtor.com, like Redfin, all of those kind of sites, like they have similar things, but they don't have all of these cool new features. Obviously, those are Zillow specific.
I'm sure they will next year, though, right?
Yeah, but usually they have like I can schedule a tour, the buttons, things like that. Same thing goes for those. Is like if you want to work with someone, just work with someone. Don't go through the apps.
Yeah,
you should find your own agent, connect with them early, know who you're going to work with. Obviously, like you mentioned, I'll just kind of recap though that if you'd like to connect with us, our links to our Zillow accounts, we should have them in the show notes.
Yeah, we will.
That'll be a CJ thing to remember to do.
For sure. But yeah, no, hopefully everyone, watching this found this useful or entertaining at the least.
One last thing I want to mention is that you can't connect with both of us, unfortunately. So you
as your agent?
You got to choose one, but that's okay.
I won't take offense. Yeah.
You shouldn't.
But yeah, no, hopefully you found this interesting or useful or are now more aware of how Zillow works on the connecting with agent side of things. Next week, do we have a guest?
Yeah, we should be talking about finances.
Okay. So
not like lending finances, but financial planning.
Cool. Yeah. No, I mean, that's a big thing when you're, also buying a home is a big financial decision. And how does that play into the rest of your life and budget and planning in general? So that'll be a good one.
Absolutely.
So thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Key Conversations, and we'll see you next time.
Wait, you got to tell people to follow
and
subscribe.
Oh yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, save.
Also,
just keeps adding.
If you obviously, let me just take a second to say it means a lot to us if you subscribe or follow. If you find this information helpful, because we'll keep showing up for you every week. Then leave us a comment if you have any questions. We look through those comments. So if you have questions or topics that you want or guests that you think we should be
that's a big
chatting with, we'd love to hear your input. And then a review would mean the world to us if you're seeing this somewhere where you can leave a review. That we can only get better when we have open, honest feedback. So,
absolutely.
So now we can say.
Well, that's a wrap. I'll see you next time.
See you next time.
If you enjoyed today's episode, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
We'd love it if you'd share this with someone who'd be interested. And don't hesitate to reach out if you want to connect. We're always happy to chat. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.